You're watching East Tennessee weather. Weather when you want it.
All right, good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. We sure hope you have a wonderful and safe day today. Did we get a little bit of sleep last night? It was a late one for sure. Some pretty good, solid downpours, some solid thunderstorms. And while we are talking about the risk for strong to severe thunderstorms again throughout the day today, we have some changes in the forecast. And if you've been with me the last couple of days, I've been talking about Saturday. So we're going to talk more about that coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll talk about a few tweaks in the forecast throughout the day today. But again, a good way to receive all your weather information if you have not done so yet and you're on the platform and you're brand new to the platform, A, welcome. And B, well, you know what? Download the East Tennessee Weather app because we were broadcasting live for several hours yesterday evening on the East Tennessee Weather app yesterday and, of course, on all East Tennessee Weather platforms. But we've got a fairly decent day ahead of us here today. Let's go ahead and get to work first things first and start you off with a couple of views. And there's my music. Oh, we don't need that music in there anymore. That was from last night. All right. Well, I had some views in there anyway. They were there. It never fails. It never fails. All right. Anyways, let's see what Purchase Knob is looking like because Klingman's Dome's still looking dark, so that camera's not working. Purchase Knob's still not lightening up yet, and nor is Look Rock. So those are National Weather Service Park cameras, not National Weather Service, National Park Service cameras. And they've been down for a little bit, but it looks like they're back up. It's just taking a little bit of time for maybe the internet to get going. Hey, let's talk rainfall over the last 24 hours, and then we'll get you out the door with a check of those current conditions and temperatures. Give you an update on the eyes here for as went and saw the eye doctor yesterday as well. But over the last 24 hours, we saw over 3 inches of rainfall in parts of Fentress County, McMinn, Monroe, parts of Blount and southern Loudoun County, and the mountains of Monroe and Blount County as well. So anywhere from 3 to pockets of 4 inches of rainfall. That was just over the last 24 hours. When you look at the last 2 days, we saw anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rainfall across the northern plateau, so Fentress and Scott County, and 3 to 4 across parts of McMinn, Monroe, and also Blount County. But clearly you can see that the Southern Valley just didn't quite pick up as much. So when you look at the almanac from yesterday, Chattanooga, big old goose egg when it came to rainfall. Did not see any rainfall officially at the airport or down across the Southern Valley. Just to the north of you did. Now, McGee-Tyson Airport picked up 76 hundredths of an inch of rain, nearly an inch in Cumberland County, as well as the Tri-Cities area. So we saw some decent rain. By the way, because of the rain, well, we do have some patchy, dense fog out there already this morning, so something to keep in mind as you travel out and about. Actually, we'll take a view of some cameras. So top left-hand side of the screen is West Knox County off of basically North Shore and Pellissippi Parkway. So you can see the clouds hanging out with us, some fog that is trying to form around the area. We have bottom left-hand side of the screen. We also have Corrington. They have a little bit of fog, but not too terribly bad so far. Where we do have some of the thickest fog right now is parts of Union County. That's the north or the top right-hand side of the screen. That's that camera on top of the courthouse in Union County. And then we have Volunteer Cove Marina in the bottom right-hand side where it doesn't show too much fog so far. There was a lot of cars out there yesterday evening. And hopefully most of those folks were not on the lake as those storms blasted their way on through. All right, here we go. So satellite and radar, we've had a couple of showers kind of hanging out still. And we still had some pretty good showers even after we shut everything down and kind of went off to bed last night. But a couple of showers swung their way up towards Unicoi County here early this morning, and that's about the extent of it. So some clearing. Once the fog burns off, we'll see some sunshine, and then building afternoon clouds once again. Temperatures are trending a little bit warmer than what we were yesterday morning, about 5 to 6 degrees. So we're still in the 60s. It's been like that for for about last week or so. 2 weeks, really. But let's dive into the details on that weather, severe weather risk for the day today. So yesterday, the Storm Prediction Center had all of East Tennessee under that level 1 risk for severe weather. But they have shaved upper East Tennessee down. So Campbell County, say Claiborne, Tri-Cities area, Newport, Cocke County, Jefferson County, likely not to see that more organized severe weather anyways. But you come down the Southern Valley and we still have that level 1 risk for strong thunderstorms. Now, when you break it down, for hail, looks like south of Interstate 40 has the greatest extent for producing the possibility of some large hail, but any of the storms today could produce damaging hail, which would be the size of a quarter. And then, of course, severe wind outlook by the Storm Prediction Center. So, yeah, damaging winds are looking possible as well. And like yesterday, let me throw this out there. Like yesterday, while there is not any major organization for tornadic activity, like what we saw yesterday with that storm in Cumberland County and the tornado warning, and even a tornado warning over into North Carolina late last night, and a possible tornado. So we'll see what the National Weather Service does. Also, I'm going to show you, if you weren't with me last night through the entire event, I have some incredible photos to share with you that we'll highlight here in a moment. And there's one down in Bradley County that looked like a wall cloud possibly, so we'll highlight that here in a moment. So with that said, you can never take tornadoes out of the risk 100% when we're talking severe thunderstorms. So here are the storm threats. The timeline is going to be later on this afternoon through the early evening hours. I don't think we'll see as much coverage as what we saw yesterday. But damaging winds, large hail, localized flooding, flash flooding, especially if you get a lot of rain over the same locations. And again, tornadoes on the low category versus, not likely. Yesterday I said none, and then we had a couple tornado warnings. So I'll just put it not likely. Probably a better CYB forecast there. All right, so let's go ahead and walk you through the future cast. Picking up on the timeline this morning, we do have a little bit of fog hanging out with us. The clouds will start to build as we get into the lunch hour. We should be dry for the lunch hour. So it should be a nice lunch hour ahead of us today. And then as we get into the afternoon and early evening hours, here comes our next little wave in the atmosphere, and we have an unstable atmosphere in place. A lot of CAPE, a lot of available energy in the atmosphere to work with. Our freezing levels are down a little bit lower. So notice yesterday we talked on Wake Up with Witcher that we weren't really expecting, while we could tap into the energy and maybe see hail up to the size of a quarter. If you recall, I said, well, hail's not too likely or probable because our freezing levels are too high. So the hail growth zone wasn't really available to all the moisture, which kind of sounds weird, doesn't it? But there's a certain growth zone where hail can form. There's a certain dendritic zone where snowfall forms. So there are certain zones in the atmosphere where you can get things or elements of weather to form a little bit more likely or probable. So today's freezing levels are down to about 9,000 to 10,000 feet. So that's a little bit more likely or conducive to produce the possibility of some large hail. So that's the possibility. Okay, so here's 4 o'clock today. We'll just take you hour by hour. There's 5 o'clock today. Go to 6, 7, and notice how the storms work their way into upper East Tennessee and just kind of weaken and fade. So again, I think the storm prediction based on this model guidance has a pretty good handle on where the storms could fire up and possibly become strong to severe. By a show of hands, anybody tired of this? By a show of hands, anybody tired? 4 hours of sleep doesn't bode anybody very well, does it? All right, here we go. So through 11 o'clock tonight, still maybe hanging out with some showers. So if you have evening plans, dinner plans, date night tonight, just keep an eye on the forecast. But things and conditions will improve as we get into dinner and bedtime. Again, if you're new to the platform, download the East Tennessee Weather app. It's super easy. I think Tom just mentioned just a moment ago, he's traveling. He goes, man, I love this app because he's been traveling and he's a Witcher weather watcher. And he's like, man, it just keeps me up on top of the weather where I'm going. And he's been traveling across the Midwest. So, Tom, kudos to you. Hats off. Thanks for the compliments. I do appreciate it for sure. All right. So when we're talking rainfall forecast, again, this is just model guidance. As we clearly saw, some areas will get a little bit more. Some may be a little bit less. Don't take those numbers to heart because it's hard to pinpoint exactly who's going to get, or it's near to impossible, really, to pinpoint exactly who's going to get what and at what time per se. But the general idea is as we get past about 3 o'clock here this afternoon. So if your kids are still in school, as they get home from school here today, something to keep in mind as they head home from the bus stops. Maybe want to go pick them up. We could have some stormy weather by then. For the kids that are on summer break. Congratulations, you finally made it to summer. My wife last night said, listen, kids, sleep in, because that's what I'm going to be doing. She's like, I'm not waking up until 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, I just got a text message saying she loves me and good morning. So she'll probably go back to bed. You know that Herkle? So we'll see what how that plays out inside the casa here. All right, so temperatures today will be a little bit warmer in some locations than yesterday. Again, Chattanooga was on the warmer side, but it didn't see the rainfall. But I think upper 70s to low 80s will be the general rule of thumb today. And again, if we have any storms as we get into the evening hours, something to keep in mind, just that may affect some of your evening commute, but not everybody. We'll go partly to mostly cloudy skies. Generally speaking, mostly cloudy skies, but temperatures will fall off into the mid-70s. All right, here's some good news to pass along. If you've been with me for the last couple of days, I was just not too confident. Yeah, okay, tone it down. I was just not too confident that we would see a whole lot of activity on Saturday. And the Storm Prediction Center had us under a level 1 risk for severe storms on Saturday. So you're going, okay, well, if they do happen, sure, we've got an unstable atmosphere. They could become strong or severe. But they've taken us out of that category. Does that mean that we won't see any thunderstorms? Does that mean that we won't, see any activity at all? No, that just means that we don't have that organization with more of the storms anyway. So anyways, this is great news to pass along. As we highlight your Saturday forecast, again, here's what it looks like. If you're heading off to the lakes early in the morning, Katrina, let me know when you're heading out. I'll be up there on the pontoon. Could see some early morning showers. Okay, so something to keep in mind. We could have some early morning showers, no severe weather threat. I think that starts to clear on out. And I think Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening could be absolutely amazing. And that could be potentially the best day of the holiday weekend because we have a stronger storm system coming through Sunday into Monday. Now, does that mean Sunday and all of Monday are going to be total washouts? No. But we'll be watching the threat for some severe weather. So some decent rain all the way through Saturday night. Parts of the Cumberland Plateau could pick up over an inch of rain. Some other locations anywhere from a half an inch to 3/4. Some other locations a lot less than that. All right, so again, if you've seen a lot of the rain over the last several days, keep in mind, if you get a lot more rain today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, whatever it may be, ground is saturated, localized flooding, flash flooding could still be on the table as we have that threat for rain. Saturday, we're at 86. I think that's going to be absolutely the best day of the weekend. Less to worry about, more to enjoy. Absolutely. Sunday, Monday, though, here come the storms, and temperatures will be in the low to mid 80s through the holiday weekend. So before we take you to the big picture pattern and really talk about that risk as we get into our Sunday, Monday, and really what we're going to be looking at as we round out the holiday weekend, it is time, my friends, just to take a quick little break and talk about this morning's Wake Up with Witcher sponsor. It is Jiffy Lube Knoxville. They have 9 locations around East Tennessee from Knoxville to Maryville and Clinton. You can visit them online, jiffylubeknoxville.com. Check them out. They don't just do oil changes. I know they have that bubble over them that thinks, oh, it's an oil change company, but no, it's a multi-care company. So visit them today. If you do, you get $25 off of your next oil change or service if you mention my name. So Jiffy Lube Knoxville is this morning's Wake Up with Witcher sponsor. All right, back to the maps now, and let's talk about that risk for severe weather Sunday into Monday. Okay, so the Storm Prediction Center has already, and it's only Friday, so we're still 3 days away from this system. Storm Prediction Center already has East Tennessee under level 1 and level 2 risk. And they also already have, where'd that go? They also have level 3 risk across parts of the upper Midwest and the Ohio Valley. So that's something to keep in mind. We're 3 days out and we already have 3 levels of severe weather. They're likely, if this all plays out the way it's looking, they're likely to issue maybe a level 4 risk somewhere between St. Louis, Indianapolis, maybe Louisville, Kentucky, central Indiana, or I should say central Illinois. So we'll see what the Storm Prediction Center does. Again, I don't do Wake Up with Witcher over the weekend, but I'm all over social media. And if I ever do need to break in and do live severe weather coverage, I think it goes without saying at this point of the game. But you know where I'll be, right on the East Tennessee weather platforms. And of course, I'll send a push notification to your phone. So if you have travel plans, and the other thing is, if you do have travel plans, so I do want to highlight for just a moment the risk for severe storms today. If you have travel plans, maybe heading off for the holiday weekend, maybe you're heading off to the Ozarks. Sounds like a great place. It looks beautiful anyway. So at least from the TV show, that wasn't a beautiful TV show, but it was a good show. Anyways, and then as we get into our Saturday, Sunday, the risk is as the low comes out of the Rockies, it's going to develop a severe weather across the Great Plains, from Omaha, Nebraska, down to Oklahoma City, just outside of Dallas, Texas, up towards Buffalo, New York, and the Ohio Valley, and down across parts of the Deep South. We'll have a level 1 risk. But again, just wanted to highlight that for folks that may be traveling across the country or around our region for the holiday weekend. So elevated rain chances again here for the day today. They really fade tomorrow. That 30% may be even outdoing it, but we do have that morning rain shower, or overdoing it, I should say. So just something to keep in mind. Sunday, Monday, we're going to ramp up those rain chances, and we'll tailor this as we continue to head through the upcoming weekend. So here's what it looks like, okay? We'll pick up our timeline Saturday morning at 7 o'clock. Now, this is a long-range model forecast, so the resolution's not going to be very clean, not going to be very precise. But as we get into our Sunday, here comes that low-pressure system. So some models have it a little bit earlier, late in the day on Sunday, some late Sunday night into early Monday. So there are some timing discrepancies, and that's why you need to check back in. Probably likely late Sunday into early Monday. So most of Sunday will probably just be just fine. Temperatures in the 80s, increasing wind, a little breezy as the cold front approaches. And then most of Monday would likely be okay. So there is going to be a line of severe weather that is going to move through sometime Sunday into early Monday timeframe. So just kind of put that in the back of your head as we head into the weekend, as we start not paying attention to the weather, especially after Saturday. We'll be like, what weather? We're all going to need a break, that's for sure. Rainfall outlook all the way through Sunday. Still looking at some decent rain and an additional 1 to maybe pockets of 2 inches of rainfall possible around our region. And then really not likely to get much as we get into our Tuesday, and really not much as we get into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So once again, let's give it the good old golf clap. I think we're all tired of the rain. I know Katrina is. She's been posting that on social media. And I think we're all just kind of tired of the rain and the severe weather. And there is relief on the way. Just take a deep breath. In through the nose and out through the mouth. How about some 70s? Now, we've been talking about that with the Weather Prediction Center, or the Climate Prediction Center, I should say, and say how they were kind of pinpointing the possibility of some below average temperatures as we get through the end of the month and maybe the start of June. And I think this will start that process. A couple of days ago, models had temperatures in the 60s. I don't think we'll necessarily get that cool, but we are looking at below average temperatures and much more comfortable weather. Now, an average high for this time of year is 81. So we've been in the low, mid, and upper 80s for the last short while. So it would be nice to get some 70s back in the forecast. Low temperatures as well. Low temperatures have been hovering in the 60s, mid 60s really for the most part. It's been mild, it's been muggy, it's been comfortable for sure. Not that full-time summertime mugginess, but comfortable. Now we're talking about some much cooler and much more comfortable air. And listen, if that holds true for next Friday, that is going to be perfect for a Friday night fire pit. And if you know me, I do love myself a Friday night fire pit. All right, my friends. How are we doing? Oh, I wanted to share some photos before we get to the chat here this morning, and grab your cup of coffee. I've not had a chance to even the kids didn't go to school today, so I didn't feel obligated to go in at 6:30 to get coffee, say good morning, help with breakfast, and get the kids out the door. So they're all sleeping in, so I stayed in the studio. I didn't get a cup of coffee this morning. We'll go get one here in a second. But take a look at some of these photos, okay? These are amazing photos. That was one from the other day. That was from Tammy. Did I not have those on here? I thought I had those on here. Hold on. Nope, these are from the other day. Where did I put those photos? I know where I put them. There, I put them right here. All right, here we go. So watch this. So look at that. We had that the shelf cloud that moved through yesterday morning. That brought in some pretty good showers and thunderstorms. No severe weather yesterday morning, but a nice shelf cloud. And then they had a little bit of a rain delay at the Knoxville Open, which, by the way, the Knoxville Open continues today and through the rest of the weekend. If you're a big golfer, want to get out and check that out, it should be a Saturday. It's going to be the best day to go out and enjoy some golf. Had some ominous-looking clouds sent in by viewers and, of course, some of the Witcher weather watchers. This is the one I was talking about. So if you weren't with me for the entire broadcast yesterday evening, this came out of Bradley County. This was from a viewer down there. And it was sent to the National Weather Service in Morristown, and they were talking about it on the discussion. And of course, they were busy issuing warnings yesterday. So once they got to it and started to dive in a little bit more to the radar data, I'll be curious to see. I haven't seen if they are going to send anybody down to Bradley County to check in to see if we had a possible tornado. And it's really hard to tell with pictures versus video. When you see video, you'd be able to see the spin. You'll be able to see maybe the wall cloud. That part in the middle potentially could be a wall cloud. Maybe. Now, again, this storm was showing signs of rotation, and the National Weather Service went back to it yesterday evening, and they said, okay, well, the placement's right where we had the rotation, so that does make sense because they have to verify. When they get pictures sent in, they got to verify everything, and they go back and look at the radar data. And so that storm was showing signs of rotation, and a nasty cell that was. So I'll be curious to see what the National Weather Service does. But an amazing photo, no doubt about that. There's another picture of the shelf cloud. And let's see, we had some ominous clouds yesterday from other viewers. This was another great one. This was undulatus asperitas clouds. And somebody posted that and said, hey, what kind of clouds are these? These are nuts. And they are. They're actually some of my most favorite clouds to time lapse. Because they really just highlight how the atmosphere works. And I think I was reading that last night. I think it was back in 2009. I think it was that the American Meteorological Society and meteorologists that are way up above me, the ones that really make things work and operate the world of meteorology, they have added that to the cloud's portfolio. The brain's not working so well this morning. The cloud portfolio, and they've started to do more investigations on these clouds, trying to figure out, okay, what are they associated with? Are they associated with severe weather? Are they associated with stable weather? But it seems to be a little bit more stable weather, and the clouds are undulating. And that's why when you see these in a time lapse, it literally is. Go on. I would just search on YouTube or something like that. Go on YouTube and search that and see if you can't find yourself a time lapse, because they are so cool. Oh, there we go. That's right. Barbara was heading off to Melton Hill Dam campground. She said it was a good storm here. Actually, Oak Ridge and other communities saw not quite the severity as other communities, but I was watching that closely because I had a couple of friends that were having some outdoor activities, and a lot of you were reaching out. We had graduations last night, so congratulations to all the graduates that graduated yesterday or are graduating through the entire weekend. I know we have graduations all weekend long as well. So hopefully Saturday, if you have graduations to attend or see if I can get the words out, or are graduating, I think Saturday's graduations will be top notch. Sunday evening, we'll have to watch out for the threat for that severe weather for sure. Oh, nice. Kimberly, why are you keeping them on the shelf? How was the concert last night? Was the concert amazing? Good old Lionel Richie, huh? Oh, they got about an inch of rain over at the golf course. Thanks, Lee. Happy last day of school for teachers. Yeah, we got to just keep it going. Keep it going. Congratulations. They made it through, unless they're doing summer school. Which, of course, my kids are doing summer camp, summer school. We call it summer camp. You know, what they don't know doesn't hurt them, right? They'll have fun with it, I'm sure. Jeff West, bad weekend for bad weather. Well, Sunday to Monday. Saturday is going to be great. I think Saturday is going to be amazing. I think Saturday is going to be awesome. Good, should be a good night, nice evening. You know, enjoy the outdoors. Watch some TV or movies. You know, do movie nights outside on Saturday night. Get a fire pit going. That's going to be the calmest one. And Layla is tired of the rain. Our gardens are not tired of the rain, unless they got damage due to severe weather, which hopefully not. Some of my weather watchers were posting that we had a couple big trees down. That I can't remember exactly where Ross is, where he's from, but he had a couple of big, maybe they look like oak trees that came down yesterday evening. Debbie, nice. The app has been on our TV since yesterday and will stay up all weekend long. I have a lot of campers arriving today. Debbie, that is amazing. And what campground is this again? The Witchers would like to come. We love camping. And if you have internet, which it sounds like you do, then I could broadcast live from the campground, or at least to do my work and get everything up and running for the East Tennessee Weather Platform from the campground. That would be cool. I did that from Little Arrow. Give you a little update on the eyeballs. A little update on the eyeballs. I am wearing glasses. I need to go get some here's the deal. They warned me of this. That if I corrected my eyes better than what my glasses or contacts were, which is what this eye is, it's now a 2015 versus a 2020 or 2030 that my contacts were. And of course, you can never see as clear out of contacts. They said that's going to destroy your farsightedness. So in order to see all these amazing monitors better, I've got to wear some readers just to see those. because it has distorted. But I did go back to the eye doctor yesterday, and I'm glad to report that things are improving. She took the patch off my eye because I had a little contact patch on my left eye still. She took the right one off on Tuesday. So the eye on the right side eye is great, 2015 vision, and she said it will only continue to crisp up from here on out. Last Sunday, my left eye was a 2400. Monday went down to a 2100. Tuesday was a 2060, so improving. Yesterday, and I was getting frustrated because I was like, man, am I going to have to wear contact in my left eye for the rest of my life? Did it not work? Because it got kind of sheared off and it didn't heal, wasn't healing. It was delayed healing, I should say. I was getting nervous. I didn't let a lot of people know that I was kind of a train wreck inside going, this is going to suck. Sorry for using that word, but this is going to suck. and so I went in, did the eye test. I was down to a 2040 yesterday in my left eye. So improving from the 2060 on Tuesday. It had been 2 days. But she's like, it's time to take that patch off, the contact off, because you got to let the eye heal. It needs air. Like, you're not supposed to wear contacts all the time just because your eyes need to breathe and get some air. Anyways, she took the contact off and did the vision test again. And I am now currently a blurry 20/20 in my left eye. I might as well do that for myself. Man, I tell you what, it has been a week, my friends. I am so glad that when I got this done last Thursday, we didn't have any major severe weather because that would have been awful. I wouldn't have been able to do anything. I would have been, up a creek without a paddle on that one, that's for sure. And so I got another appointment next Tuesday. We'll see what the eye does on the left eye, but continuing the eye drops like nonstop, but improving conditions. And she's pretty confident that she goes, give yourself about a month. And she goes, I think both eyes will just be nice and crisp, which now makes this view not so crisp. Anyways, I know you don't really care, but you care. I will say one other thing. I was at the eye doctor yesterday, and we were chatting about the app and chatting about the severe weather and stuff like that. And one of the techs, or one of the ladies that works over at Tennessee LASIK, which, by the way, hands down, a big old hands down, hands clap. What am I trying to say? Hats off is what I'm trying to say. I told you I needed some sleep, my friends. So hats off to Tennessee LASIK, because the people there are amazing. They really went above and beyond to help me out, to get my eye fixed and better. And the doctors are amazing. Anyway, so we were talking about the app, and one of the ladies walked by and she goes, hey, I should download your app, shouldn't I? And we're all like, I mean, duh. Come on, I've been coming to you now for the last week or so. Come on, download the app. She goes, okay, I'll do that. As she was saying that, there was a couple and a daughter. There was a woman, a husband and wife and a daughter walking out of the back room. And the wife goes, I have your app. And I was like, you do? That's amazing. Anyways, it was a couple from Campbell County, and she literally looked at me, and we were talking about the eyes and stuff like that. And then so the husband and wife want to get their eyes redone. They had their eyes done in 2009. I had mine done in 2007. So we started talking about that. But the daughter was getting her eyes done, LASIK done with her eyes. And she said, listen, I want to tell you something. The only reason why we are here today, and they were there for their preliminary checkup, she goes, is because of you. Because we've been watching you on social media and on the app and on the broadcast, talking about your eyes, talking about your adventure through the adventure for sure, Witcher's adventures with his eyeballs. And she goes, you are the reason why we are back here, to get our eyes rechecked to see if we qualify for a touch-up on our LASIK and to get our daughter's LASIK done. And I was like, oh, that just like melted my heart. I was like, that is so awesome. Thank you. So there we go. So if you're thinking about doing it, I will tell you now. Remember, I don't know if you recall, today's Friday. So I think it was like on Monday or Tuesday when I was broadcasting. I said, if you were to ask me right now if I do this again, I said absolutely not. No way. But that's because I was having trouble with my left eye, and I was really nervous. Like I was never going to get that left eye back to where it should be. And we have two eyes, most of us. Although I do have a friend with a glass eye. Sorry. And so anyways, if you're thinking about doing it, if you want to reach out to me, if you want to have a conversation, I will gladly talk to you about the process. Although many of you, I think, probably know, but a little bit about the process. But, when you do touch-ups on your eyes from LASIK, they typically don't do LASIK again. They do PRK, which is a little bit more, it's a little bit more painful. It's a little bit more of a healing process. It's a little bit more of an issue, really. So anyways, if you're interested in that, I'd say at this point of the game, I would highly recommend it, because even if this eye stays a blurry 20/20, it's not bothersome. So there we go. All right, off my soapbox. Good morning, Pam Jones. What's going on? I've not seen you on here this morning, or ever, I don't think. So good morning. Welcome to Wake Up with Witcher, Pam. I sure hope you have a great weekend, and thanks for sharing the app. Yeah, where's Katrina this morning? Where did she go? She's sleeping in. She's out on the lake. Leave her alone. She's trying to enjoy this beautiful weekend. Saunders like, my grass is drowning. Can't get it cut fast enough. I know, we've got a high schooler that cuts our grass. He's like, we're going to have to up that a little bit, What's up, Brian? I don't have my coffee mug with me this morning, Brian. I haven't even had coffee yet. Need to go get me some. What else? Anybody doing anything fun this weekend? Do you have anything planned? Or are you just kind of going to wing it and see what happens? I would love, and I may, and I think I told you this the other day, I would love to get out and do some barbecuing. I want to smoke some meat. I would love to smoke some meat. So I typically do pulled pork and using a Boston butt, but I want to do some. I'm telling you, I need to go inside and sleep. My brain isn't working. What is the other thing called? Why am I? This is ridiculous. I should just shut it down. Shut it down, Witcher. This whole thing is I got prime rib stuck in my head, and that's not even it. Pork butt and brisket. There we go. Thank you. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Laura. That gerbil was going through the card catalog in the back of my brain going, trying to find the information on that one. And then the gerbil passed over and died. So the information just went out. That poor gerbil in my head. I just killed it off. What's up, buddy? Boat days this weekend. Thanks for the forecast. By the way, Roku seems to be freezing after about 5 minutes. I appreciate that. I'll pass that along. But tomorrow, as I had mentioned to you yesterday, and I think the day before, tomorrow seems to be a prime lake day. Temperatures in the 80s, sunshine in the afternoon. Now, wear that sunscreen this weekend. You don't want this weekend to be your first sunburn of the weekend or of the summer season. I'm not talking to you, Seth. You do whatever you want. I've known Seth for like 20 years. Has it been like 20 years? I think it's been like 20 years. 2005? 6-ish? Anyways, have a good weekend on the lake. I'll be working with my wife is working all weekend. I'll be just kicking back, relaxing, and I cannot get into the water yet. I still have about, she thinks at least 2 weeks before I can get into any sort of water. The church is having a cookout in the park in Sweetwater Monday. Hope the rain holds off. And speaking of Sweetwater, I will try to reach out to Taps today to try to get that meet and greet set up. Aaron. Yes, my friend. Yes. That's what I did last night. I got done with that broadcast last night. My neighbors were in. They were all watching TV, listening to music outside on the back patio. And I went and grabbed myself a nice cold beverage and sat down for like 20 minutes. I was like, I needed this. Because here's what happened yesterday. Let me just tell you something real quick. I'm an open book. I don't care. So yesterday I was watching those storms across the Cumberland Plateau before I started broadcasting live severe weather coverage, before we had the tornado warning. And I needed to go get another prescription from that the eye doctor prescribed me. So I was kind of watching the radar. I was like, okay, I think it was what like 6 o'clock-ish. I think it was like yesterday. And so I was like, okay, 5:36, something like that. And I was like, okay, I need to go get this prescription because I need to get it back in my eye. And I was looking at the radar. I was like, okay, hold on a second. Maybe So I sat there for about 5 minutes. I was like, no, I'm going to go real quick. All of a sudden, a severe thunderstorm warning was issued for Fentress County. I was like, okay, hold on. Looked at the radar. I was like, okay, I'm good. We're good. I'm not saying I can't possibly go live for every pop-up severe thunderstorm warning, just so you know. That's never going to happen. It's near to impossible. I'd work all the time. And again, it's going to happen in the summertime. We'll get those rogue storms that pop up, severe thunderstorm, boom, rains itself out. It's gone. And it's like the only one. Anyways, I digress. So I get in my wife's car and I start driving because her car is cooler than my car. So why not drive it when I can? And I start driving and I literally get about a mile, maybe about 2 miles down the road. I wasn't even to Kingston Pike yet. Okay, so we just live off of Kingston Pike. I wasn't even to Kingston Pike yet. And a severe thunderstorm warning was issued then for Cumberland County. So I was at the stoplight. I looked at my phone real quick, and because I don't text and drive, and they had a possible tornado tag attached to that severe thunderstorm warning. I turned around because I was like, if there is a possible tornado, there was signs of rotation. So I turned around, zipped it back home real quick, didn't say hi to anybody, jumped into the studio. By the time I hit my neighborhood, they had switched that severe thunderstorm warning to a tornado warning. And I was like, thank goodness I turned around. And then we were broadcasting through the evening hours. I don't even know how long I was on, but I guess for a couple hours, 2.5 hours anyway. So so I was watching it. I took a chance, took a risk to leave. I left and then zipped right back. So I never made it to, I was going to go pick up dinner from one of my favorite places, by the way. If you're anywhere near around West Knoxville, Tuk Tuk, whatever you want to call it. You know, those from Thailand, it's Thai food. Masama curry. Put that on your bucket list. Masaman curry is so good. And we didn't have any food in our house, and I wasn't going to cook. So I'm going to go get me some of that, and I'm going to go pick up my prescription. So that was what I was going to do, and totally failed. Guess what I ended up eating at 9 o'clock last night? A darn frozen cheese and bean burrito dipped in Taco Bell sauce, which is good. That's what I ended up. So, Aaron, I am all with you. I love patio weather. I love sitting on the back porch and sipping some cold beverages with some good friends and family. It's probably one of my most favorite things to do. So my birthday is coming up in a week, right? And so we were talking about that last night as well. And so it's funny because my wife has always thrown me over the years surprise birthdays and big birthday parties and bashes. And we used to go all out. I think it's probably about the last 4 or 5 years or so. I'm like, you know what? It's hard when you get a big group of people together to really have good conversation with them, to really just kind of dive into the friendships, right? And so we would always end up at these big tables at restaurants. And so we've got friends down on the other side. And while they're there and joining and celebrating with me, you don't get to chat with them. So over the last few years, I said, I'm not doing that anymore. So one of my favorite things to do is do breweries. I like to go to breweries. You probably know that. So the last few years, I said, I'm just going to grab a couple friends who want to join me. Anybody's welcome to join, but a couple friends that want to join me and go on a little brew tour around East Tennessee, around Knoxville. And I should say East Tennessee because, maybe we'll hit Sweetwater or Loudon, or maybe we'll hit other locations. I try to hit different breweries every single year because you can't hit them all. You have great conversation. You have great craft beer from our local community members and our business owners here in town. And so that is literally one of my favorite things to do. All right, Katrina says, oh, there she is. Good morning, Katrina. Hey, she says, don't forget Maynardville Winery, 7 Springs Farm for TK Gourmet, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. tonight. I'm just going to back away from the microphone. Just back away. I know Katrina's going to go. Tom, I don't know if Tom's on here. If Tom's on here, he's probably cooking and getting ready for. I hope we do not have severe weather tonight between 5 and 7 o'clock. That is the hope. But I'll keep you posted, right, Katrina and Tom? And I do love the clouds as well. All right, everybody. I didn't even do traffic this morning. I will tell you that traffic is running smoothly this morning, so we won't even worry about traffic. I just looked. There's no accidents. There's no backups. You're good to go. So let's move right along on today's National Day calendar. It is May 24th. My brother's birthday is in 2 days, and it's mind-blowing to me that he's going to be 50 years old this year. What? Dunaway, you're getting close, bro. All right, so today's National Yucatan Shrimp Day. Yucatan, you said tomato, I say tomato, whatever. We'll all be friends in the end. Whatever that means. I love me some shrimp, so maybe I'll go find a Yucatan shrimp recipe. Who knows? National Road Trip Day. Who doesn't love road trips? I love road trips. Now, road trips with kids are not the same as they were back in high school and college. But road trips are some of my favorites. Seth Dunaway, by the way, road tripped with me when I moved back to East Tennessee in 2017. He flew out from Knoxville, got into Denver. We packed my car, and we literally drove 19 hours straight without stopping except for gas and food. 19 hours straight, Seth. You remember that trip? And then I showed up here at Knoxville at like we showed up at like 6:30 in the morning, something like that. I drove straight to I drove straight to the TV station. That was almost a Freudian slip there. Not really. I worked there for a long time. Great platform, great people, amazing TV station. But I drove straight to the TV station to surprise Abby Ham on the Fox show. Anyways, National Cooler Day. Don't forget them coolers before you pack those coolers with some nice cold water. Says no Mike Witcher ever. Some nice cold beverages for the good lake weekend. But keep in mind, the police will be out in full force this weekend along with TWRA. So just play it safe and drink responsibly this weekend, my friends. National Wyoming Day. Great. Brothers Day. Aw, it's Brothers Day. Well, there we go. I'll have to give a big shout out to my brothers, which I'm super excited to see because I will be able to see them coming up in June. If you recall, I'm going to be heading off to Denver. Aviation Maintenance Technician Day today. I'm talking about all these, and you are not even seeing this. This is ridiculous. I told you I am off the charts here. I need to go back to bed. So there's your National Shrimp Day. Okay, great. All right, so National Wyoming Day, Brothers Day, Aviation Maintenance Technician Day. Wouldn't be an aviator if we didn't have the amazing technicians that work so hard with the FAA on to make our airplanes as safe as they are. And aviation and air travel is the safest way to travel. Did you know that? National Escargot Day. Anybody like escargot? My wife likes it. I think that sounds disgusting. No, I did have escargot one time. Recently, actually, at a restaurant in downtown Knoxville. She made me try it. I guess I didn't think it was too bad. But escargot, not really my forte. National Scavenger Hunt Day. All right, there we go. And it's National Don't Fry Day. Put on that sunscreen. Don't Fry Day. On this Friday before Memorial Day weekend. All right, those are the national holidays. National Scavenger Hunt Day. So your kids are now officially on summer break. So what moms are out there going to be like, all right, I'll do a scavenger hunt for you guys. We'll get that working. If you're looking for something to do today, because you know how it is, and it's probably going to happen the second I head inside. I'm bored. I'm hungry. I'm bored. Yeah, I didn't like summertime either. And my 8-year-old is exactly who I am. I hated summertime as a kid because I didn't get to hang out with all my friends. If you know me, I like to be around a lot of people. I like friends. I like people. Just generally speaking, I like people. And I give everybody the benefit of the doubt until you burn me. Ooh, don't burn Witcher. Just kidding. If you burn me, I'll just go, all right, we're done. I just brush things off too easy. Sometimes too easily. That's a fault of mine. I brush things off way too easily sometimes, and comes back to bite me. But anyways, let's see. Any questions, Mike? So Storm Chaser, Mr. Wolf, I got your email yesterday. I know you posted that on the chat last night. I will get to work with that, and I will add you to the Witcher's Weather Watchers today. We have, I think, 3 or 4 more coming to the platform. So if I have any Witcher Weather Watchers out there, they are continuing to add up. I think we're up to, 28 to 30 now. We'll add about 3 or 4 more today. So we're looking at about 34 Witcher Weather Watchers that will help us during severe weather. However, I will say, I would think we're going to have a Witcher Weather Watcher meeting. A Witcher Weather Watcher meeting coming up. Because I want you to join the broadcast. Yesterday would have been perfect. And I know some of you were saying, like, hey, listen, I know I'm just getting a little bit of light rain, but we were tracking storms moving into your area, so you don't necessarily have to talk about the bad weather. You can say, hey, listen, so far we're so good here in Powell, Sweetwater, wherever you are, so far, but Witcher, you're talking about the storms just to your west, so you can add to the conversation. Just throwing it out there, any Witcher Weather Watchers. You will not be a nuisance to what I am doing because you will only add to the broadcast. Let's see. Do we have a level for Sunday? Hopefully, I'm catching up on chat, so I should probably just go to the bottom and try to catch up because my wife said you get so far behind on your chat, you've already answered all the questions, and then you go through and re-answer those questions. So now I'm at the very bottom. So if I missed your question, I apologize. Post it in the chat again because I'm starting fresh from the very bottom. Or the very top. Is it top or bottom? I don't know. And amen to that, Dwayne. You are right, sir. Don't forget what Memorial Day is all about. It's not just about barbecues and boating weather and the unofficial start to summer. It's much, much more than that. So thank you, sir. Pam Jones says, I forgot the app now that Mike has announced. My husband works in lawn care, and we have to know the weather. He travels East Tennessee and has weather updates through this app. This makes me so happy, Pam. That is 100% exactly what it's about. There we go. That's right, Elise. Yes, sir. I'm not strict. I'm just saying, hey, come on. There we go. Seth says, yeah, that was a road trip. That was for 19 hours straight, man. I tell you. That was crazy. Bonnie says, let me know when you get the meet and greet. I want to be sure to be there. My neighbor is the county commissioner, and he plans on coming too. Are you talking about, I'm assuming you're talking about taps in Sweetwater. If that's the case, that's amazing. And let's see. Gaming Gamer, what's up, buddy? Do you think the risk for the strong storms on Sunday into Monday might change to a higher level, like a level 2 or level 3 risk? Well, we're under a level 1 and 2 risk already. So do we get elevated to maybe a full level 2? There's some discrepancy. National Weather Service was talking about that in their forecast discussion this morning, saying there's, we're still in the low resolution, long range model forecast data, so we'll never have the greatest handle on that. But it kind of depends on what the thinking is the most severe weather would be across the upper Midwest, up towards Illinois, Indiana, Western Kentucky. That's where the level 3 risk is currently. If things hold together the way they could, we would get a line of severe weather with the cold front, and they may up us to a level, maybe everybody to a level 2 risk. Not quite sure about a level 3 risk so far, but good question. So make sure you pay attention and join on social media as we get into the upcoming weekend, because of course, I will post that through the entire weekend. Oh. So Wild Tree Lane, you sell some nice fire starters that make the fire pit smell amazing. There we go. So Wild Tree Lane is located inside 865 Candle, who is my Monday sponsorship. So check them out. She's in South Knoxville. No. The gremlins are in my brain this morning. Bobby Green says, good morning, Mike. Storms were wicked in Campbell County yesterday evening. Lame plans on Norris this weekend. Plan on smoking some ribs, maybe a pork butt, and grab a cup of coffee. Or maybe you're telling me to grab a cup of coffee. Here's another What's Your Weather Watcher, Jamie Wise. I've known Jamie for years. Your daughter is getting so big. It's mind-blowing to me. But the gerbil in your brain's retired. Yeah, the gerbil in mine is retired as well. Chris, I had to do the AM sacrifice. I mean, every once in a while, you got to sacrifice that little gerbil in your brain, especially when it's not working. All right, my friends, it is 7:51. I do need to go get a cup of coffee. By the way, Mark says, I love the 15-mile lightning notice feature from the app. It was great at the graduation I was attending on Wednesday. Perfect there. Thank you, Mark. And Briscoe. What's up, Briscoe? Good morning, bud. Had a coffee with Briscoe. I'm assuming that's the same Briscoe I had coffee with the other day. I don't remember your last name. But with an organization and a group here in town that I attended a meeting with. And so we went and had coffee to talk about that. So Briscoe, I don't know another Briscoe. You're the first Briscoe I've ever known. So I'm assuming that is the same Briscoe. Oh, Brian Claxton. Brian, come on. East Tennessee weather. Just go to the Google Play Store. It's right there at the bottom of your screen. Right. Once you're moved right there, East TN weather. Just go to the Google Play Store, the App Store, and search East TN weather, all one word. It's like the first one that pops up. It's the orange TN and the white lightning bolts. You can't miss it. Allow notifications, allow GPS, especially if you travel. And if you want any help, just stay on the broadcast. I talk about the app all the time, about how amazing the interactive radar is, because it gives you current, past, and future radar. So go to your app store. I don't know if you're iPhone or Android, and download the app today and tell me what you think. I would love to know what your thoughts and feelings are. I am getting ready to change a little bit of the app, so we are going to be changing a little bit of how it plays and works out to help some of my advertisers out, because I am solely operated by local businesses here in East Tennessee. And if you are a local business and you are looking for some advertising opportunities, I have space available for you, whether it be a Wake Up with Witcher or whether it be, anything. So hit me up. Let me know if you want any help with that, or if you need to do some advertising for your business. I guess that's about it, my friends. I'm going to go. I've already sacrificed this gerbil. You know what? I don't know if you were with me last night for the broadcast, but we're going to do something different. Watch this. We're going to take this off, and we ended the live broadcast last night. Some good old bluegrass. Hopefully I've not offended anybody, but I love me some bluegrass music. Seems a little bit more happy, a little bit more chirpy. So there you go. Enjoy that. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it. He says you did a great job yesterday. Thanks for keeping us safe and aware. That's my job. That's what I do. And that's where East Tennessee weather is. It's here to stay, my friends, forever and ever. Coach Howell, I hope you have a great day as well. By the way, don't forget, if you're looking for an oil change or any sort of car care, Jiffy Lube Knoxville has 9 locations around East Tennessee, from Knoxville to Maryville and Clinton. You can visit them online at jiffylubeknoxville.com. Go get your oil change. Go check it out. Seth Dunaway did it. He took advantage of the $20 discount that if you go to Jiffy Lube Knoxville and you mention my name, they will give you a $20 discount on your next oil change or service. Seth did it. He took a picture with the guys, the techs over there, and sent it to me and said, hey, look at what I did. So I would love if you go support some of the local advertisers here. That would also be, Wild Tree Lane, Jiffy Lube, 865 Knoxville, and all of them that you see on all East Tennessee weather platforms. I sure hope you have a wonderful and safe weekend. Be safe out there. It's going to be a crazy, busy weekend. Don't forget what the weekend's all about. But it is also all about the unofficial start to summer, barbecues, friendships, lake days. We're getting so close, and the weather on Saturday should be amazing. So to recap, we do have some strong to severe thunderstorms expected again later on this evening. I would say anytime basically after about 3 to 4 o'clock here this afternoon. They could last to about 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock tonight, so we'll keep you posted on that. Again, we are under a level 1 risk for some isolated strong to severe thunderstorms today. We are not under a risk for severe weather tomorrow. May have some morning showers and then maybe an isolated shower or two tomorrow afternoon, but I think tomorrow is going to be a solid lake day, an outdoor day, a good grilling and barbecue day. Sunday, late Sunday, looks to be the day. So most of Sunday probably is going to be fine. Most of Monday, actually on Memorial Day, is probably going to be fine. But late Sunday, we've got a potent storm. And we're already under a level 1 and level 2 risk for severe weather. So I will send you to the 24-hour weather channel for all the details on that, where we've been, where we are, and where we are going. So stick around if you didn't get all the information. I sure hope you have a great weekend. Wake Up with Witcher will be back on Monday morning to give you... Well, you know what? No, we're not. I take holidays off. Remember that? Unless I need to broadcast live on Monday morning, Wake Up with Witcher is going to take a break Monday morning, but all of East Tennessee weather will be updated, so I'll keep you posted on that. So just check social media Monday morning. Maybe I'll get a wild hair and say, you know what? Let's just do this, because we had some nasty storms last night. Or maybe I will be up all night long and I'm saying, nope, we're going to take a quick little break. Either way, you slice it and dice it. I sure hope you have a great weekend. Again, now this is the gerbil that just keeps gerbling along and talking away. I'm going to retire now. Have a great weekend. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. And now I'll send you back to the 24-hour channel.
Weather when you want it.
Here we go again, my friends. First of all, happy Friday. Second of all, we're talking about showers and thunderstorms to ramp back up again throughout the day today. And there are some changes, a few tweaks to the forecast, so let's get to work with that. We made it into the 70s and even mid-80s, picked up nearly an inch of rain at some of the airports around town, and even more than that in other locations, places like the Cumberland Plateau. Factors 24 hours, upwards of 3 inches. Same with parts of McMinn and Rowe into the mountains of Blount County. Over the last 2 days, we've added even more, so 2 to 4 inches across the northern plateau and nearing 3 to 4 inches across parts of McMinn and Monroe, stretching into Blount County. So we've seen some decent rain, some solid downpours for some. So that's going to be insult to injury if we get more showers and thunderstorms over the same locations. Now, the changes for today, Upper East Tennessee is not a risk by the Storm Prediction Center. It's down across the southern valley that we do again have that level 1 risk, where we could see some damaging hail up to about an inch in diameter and size of a quarter. Could see some strong gusty winds or severe winds. And like yesterday, while we don't have a major risk for tornadoes by the Storm Prediction Center, you can never take that off the table. And we saw that in Cumberland County, and we saw that over into North Carolina late last night. So medium category for damaging winds, hail, and localized flooding. Not likely in the tornado category, but once again, you can never just take that completely out of a forecast when we're talking severe weather. All right, so our future cast, picking up our timeline this morning. We'll run you through lunchtime. We're doing fine. Into the afternoon, mostly fine. But here comes this next piece of energy as we get into the 4, 5, 6 o'clock hours. So could be dealing with showers and thunderstorms for the evening rush hour and dinner time as well. As it moves its way to the north and east, it should begin to weaken. So the strongest thunderstorms, again, basically Interstate 40 south, closer to Chattanooga. So have a way to receive that weather information. We broadcast live with the East Tennessee Weather app. You can get that on your cell phone, on your tablets. You go to easttnweather.com on your computers, and of course all social media, where I think a lot of you have been joining over the last couple of days for severe weather. Rainfall, again, going to be hit and miss, but solid downpours with any of the storms that really develop throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. So something to keep in mind here throughout the day today. Temperature-wise, not bad. We're going to be in the upper 70s as we get into the 3 o'clock hour, to pockets of low, maybe a couple pockets of mid-80s across the southern valley, 70s across the plateau and upper East Tennessee as well. That's going to make for a nice, comfortable evening. But again, some of us may be dealing with some showers and thunderstorms as we get into the evening rush hour, dinner and bedtime, at which point it starts to weaken. Here is that change I was talking about. Good news. And I've been saying this over the last couple of days. I really wasn't thinking that we're going to see a whole lot of activity on Saturday. So we've been taken out of the level 1 risk by the Storm Prediction Center. Does that mean it's totally off the table? No. I still think we're going to have some showers and thunderstorms, but they're going to be very isolated in nature, not a lot more of organization. And again, I think we'll start the morning off with maybe a few scattered showers. So if you're heading off to the lakes early in the morning, little bit of morning rain, but then as we get into the afternoon, I actually think we're going to see more sunshine, and I think it's going to still be the best day of the weekend. Now, with that also said, I don't necessarily think that Sunday is going to be a total washout, nor is Monday, but we are looking at severe weather to ramp back up. So temperatures into the holiday weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, will be in the low to mid 80s, a solid forecast temperature-wise. But as we get into our Sunday and Monday time frame, here we go. We've got a big risk for severe storms. Level 1, level 2 risk so far here locally. We also have a level 3 risk across parts of the Ohio Valley, up into the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest. That's where the bullseye will be because that's where the area of low pressure is going to be tracking. So come back down tomorrow, stay elevated Sunday, and then fall off as we get into next week as some cooler, more stable air starts to settle its way on. All right, here we go. Saturday morning, we're picking up our timeline. We do have a frontal boundary that's going to be kind of swinging in and around the area, but really it's going to be Sunday. So I do think that Saturday is going to be the best day, but Sunday, here comes a powerful cold front and a strong low pressure system up across the Great Lakes. So we really have to get an idea as we get closer to our Sunday, the timing, the intensity of this low, how it all evolves over time. But as you saw with the Storm Prediction Center, we do have that level 1, level 2, and level 3 risk for severe storms. Through Sunday, here's your rainfall forecast through next Tuesday and by next Thursday. So I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of rain. We're going to shut down the rain chances as we head into the middle and latter part of next week. That also brings us some cooler, much more comfortable 70s, not to mention some comfortable morning temperatures with lows in the 50s. So have a way to receive weather information as we are talking about strong to severe thunderstorms. As you head out and about on the lakes or do some hiking or outdoor events or barbecues here this upcoming weekend, it's 100% free. Just go to the Google Play Store or the App Store and search EastTN Weather, all one word. The interactive radar is absolutely the best, giving you current, past, and future radar, all with the push of that play button. Have a great day.